All right, for this assignment, I think it's easier if you're working on Office 2016, but if you're at home, it should look pretty similar. So go ahead and open up Excel. And if you're at school, this should be saved on the resource drive. If you're at home, you're going to have to save the one on Blackboard. Go to Open Other, Browse, Resource Drive, District Buildings Old, MTMS, ACRUS, 7th grade, ski trip budget. All right, yours is going to be read only, so you're going to want to save this into your files. Again, make sure you're saved to OneDrive. So you're going to go to File, Save As. Again, make sure it's like your OneDrive. Go to your 7th computers folder and save it. All right, now we're just going to follow the directions on this sheet here. We're going to change the page orientation to landscape. We're doing something to the page. Go to page layout, orientation, landscape. Nothing really changes there until you go to print it. Change the font for the whole sheet to Bookman Old Style. Click between A and 1. Go to your home ribbon. Change the font type. Okay. Size 12. Oops. Okay. We're here now where it says follow the instructions so that your budget looks like the example EX1. That's that picture down to the right a little bit. So it says merge and center A1 through F1. So I'm going to highlight A1 through F1. Click merge and center. Auto fit column A only. Hover my mouse between A and B. Double click. Merge and center C2 through D2. So I'm going to highlight C2 through D2, merge and center. Select cells A2 through F2. Now this gets tricky. Don't go into G, just go into F. Fill them gray. Bold and center the text, and wrap the text. Okay. Right now, these are going to have a lot more space and they're going to be pretty big there. As we make things a little bit bigger, then later we can go here and double click or just make 2 a little bit shorter. Select cells C9 through E11. Okay, we're going to select cells C9 through E11. Click the arrow beside the merge and center button. Click merge across. I talked about this the other day in class. Right align the text and bold it. Okay, now right now you cannot see all of those. So you're going to need to make C and D a little bit bigger. And E probably. There you go. E is probably going to need to be made bigger. Select cells A1 through F11 and choose all borders. A1 through F11, choose all borders. Enter the following data in the budget as follows. Type 5 in cell B13 to show that there are 5 people traveling on this trip. Number of travelers, here I'll put 5. Select cells B3 through B8. Click the $sign button. Select cell F10 and click the $sign button. Now, if yours doesn't make it bigger like mine does, if it still looks like this, just double click between F and G and it will be bigger. Enter the expense prices in the price column. These are the unit prices here. This is where the unit price goes. Okay, $59.99 per day, 59.99. So just look at the sheet and enter them as the sheet shows. Now remember, anytime you get these pound signs or hashtags, are basically number signs. So you're going to double click between B and C. Just means the number is too big for the column width. All right, now it says enter the quantities in column C. So you'll just enter those as well. All right, so we have the unit price and we have the number of units that we're buying. So now we're trying to figure the total price. So to do that, we're going to take the unit price and multiply by the quantity. So we're going to start the formula with equals, do the unit price, multiply by the quantity. And you're going to click in that cell. Remember, that's the cell you want to copy using your fill handle. Hover your mouse in that lower right hand corner. Make sure it's the thin T and drag it down. Okay, so just like in the video, when you're trying to decide if you can go on a trip, you need to figure out, these are the total prices. So some of these you get to split with other people to determine your price, and some of the total price is just the total price. So we are going to, it says on your sheet, formulas for the price per person. Total prices of expenses you get to split with the other travelers. The SUV rental, the gas, and the hotel. You will create a formula, so when you hear that, you know you're going to press equals. To divide the total price, so you're going to take the total price, divide it by the number of travelers, whatever is in cell here, B13. Now, you want to be able to fill that down. You don't want to have to type this formula in 2 other times. So you want, no matter what, B13 to stay the same. You want B13 always to be B13. That's what you want to be dividing by. So press function 4 on your keyboard. Press enter. Click back in cell F3 and just fill that down for the 2 other ones that you're going to be splitting. So rental, SUV, gas, and hotel. All right, click in cell F6. It says total prices of expenses that you don't get to split. You have to pay the total price. Food, lift tickets, and ski rental. Create a formula to have the per person price equal the total price. So right here, we've already figured your cost. So it's going to be equals this. Press enter. Click back in cell F6 and fill it down too. All right. Now, when you add all these up, these price per people, that is your trip total for you. That's how much this trip is going to cost. So, remember to add a row or column of numbers, you're going to click auto sum. It says, do you want to add F3 through F8? You do, so press enter. All right. This is how much you have said you can afford to spend, and this is how much you're spending. So we're going to see how much you are under or over. If the trip total is over the amount that you have budgeted, you're over budget. If the amount is under the amount you have budgeted, you're under budget. So again, you're going to create a formula equals to take the amount budgeted and subtract the trip total per person. The trip total for one person. Press enter. You're under budget by $20.51. Okay, so now you're going to, it says stop, put up your green stick. Let me check this. Remember to turn on your formulas. You're going to do control and then the tilde accent mark. Your formula should be there. And then turn them off when I'm done grading. All right, here we go. Now we're going to answer the questions. We should not need to get a calculator out. All of our questions have either been answered, or we can just make some changes here to our budget and it will figure it for us. It says, what is the total cost to rent an SUV for 4 days? $239.96. How much will each traveler pay? That's your price per person. $47.99. How much does it cost for one person to go on this trip? $629.49. Are you over or under your budgeted amount? You decide. Per person, what is the most expensive part of this trip? So look here. What is the most expensive part? What does it cost for one person to ski? This should be the sum of the unit price for food, lift ticket, and ski rental. Showed you this the other day. When you just need to quickly add 3 numbers, but you don't really want a formula, you can highlight them, or a couple numbers, and down here it'll give you the sum. All right, what if one of the travelers bailed at the last minute? How much would it cost for one person to go on this trip with only 4 travelers? So we're going to click here in cell B13 and change the number of travelers to 4. The trip cost would now be this. With one less traveler, would a person be over or under budget? You decide. How much would he or she be over or under budget? Good job, you're done with part A.